low-key, one of the best decks to rank up with right now is actually Weapon Rogue, Poison Rogue, I guess is what most people call it. The deck is really good. The reason why I say it's good right now is you know, the meta changes over time, and so the power level of decks can go up and down based on what other decks are present and what other people are playing, and also what kind of tech cards are popular, what people are using and whatnot. It's good right now because, first of all, as you can see right here, we queued into a Warlock. This is a good matchup for the Weapon Rogue. We're able to really pressure the Warlock self-total and really just kill them before they can start to do the super unfair things that they really want to do. So we just kind of beat them to the punch. Lots of Warlocks out there. I still see quite a few mages. In fact, I think I'm seeing more mages now than I ever have, maybe over the course of the entire expansion. And mage is actually the best matchup. It's like an 80-20 matchup. Since I've been playing Weapon Rogue this season, I think I've lost a single game to mage. It's like actually insane. Things would just have to go really bad to lose to mage. There's more quest hunters out there, I think, because a lot of the streamers have been playing Quest Hunter. This deck is good into Quest Hunter. You're not dropping minions on the board, so it's harder for them to be able to complete their quest and really get going. Face Hunter isn't totally terrible matchup. It's probably Hunter favored, but it's not awful. It's going to be very draw dependent. The worst deck that I've had trouble against is actually Paladin, just because Secret Paladin, oh my god, can throw you off with your poisons, your card draw, your direct damage. Also, the 3/4 taunt secret, galloping, whatever. It doesn't matter what the name of the card is. Galloping, whatever. The 3/4 taunt secret. You got to be careful to play around that. There's going to be a lot of times where you're going to want to play more cards in a turn. But just the amount of taunts that Secret Paladin has makes it so that you can't punch face with your weapon, which is a key part of this deck. So, you know, you can potentially just lose based on that. I actually have a really decent, solid win rate against Shaman. Elemental Shaman, I think, is very favored just because they don't have taunts to get in your way. And typically you can hide under Cloak of Shadows at least once, sometimes twice, depending on your draw, but they cannot damage you through Cloak of Shadows. So even if they take the board early, which they tend to do, you can still just kill them if they can really set up lethal. Elemental Shaman is a little bit harder. I think I do have an above 50% win rate against Elemental. The problem, again, is the taunts. But a lot of their taunts, you know, Spirit Wolves are 2/3s. However, there is 2 of them, but you can punch one potentially and extort the other one, SI Extortion, to be able to remove it. Wicked Stab removes it, so that's not bad. Canal Sloggers seem to be pretty much a non-factor, the only healing available to him in the deck. It's a 6/4, lines up perfectly with Wicked Stab. Usually by the time they get it on the board, the Wicked Stab is going to be able to hit for 4. This turn is insane. I love it. So yeah, it's just really well positioned against what's out there. Decks that you're going to be bad against are going to be like Shadow Priest. I think I legit died on turn 4 against the Shadow Priest who was able to get down double Void Touched Attendant. Face Hunter, again, probably Face Hunter favored, but again, it's not totally undoable, but really just the decks that are going to be faster than you are as the Weapon Rogue. You're typically going to be looking to kill people around turn 6, turn 7, and it's really consistent. This particular version of the deck, we're running all 4 weapons. And then I'm running 1 copy of Yoink. There's kind of like a slot that is super flex. You don't know what to do with it. I'm running Yoink. It can potentially be an extra 2 damage over 2 turns. You get the Hunter Hero power, it's 4 damage over 2 turns. Warlock draw is always good. Very rarely it'll totally blank out and you get like Warrior, Shaman, and say Priest hero powers. Those would all be bad. But typically you have 1 mana to be able to spend on Yoink. I like the card. I think it can give you just that little extra bit of either card draw or damage that you need to really be able to finish off your opponent. So super, super great deck. Low key, this is a top tier deck right now. The games are fast, so you should be able to rank up fast with it. Now, one of the other things that I find curious just about, like, say Hearthstone in general is, there's a group of people out there who I guess are really just elitists. And what it comes down to is they say, if your goal is to hit Legend, oh, you hit Legend with Face Hunter, that's a low skill deck. Or you hit Legend with Shadow Priest, it's a low skill, play on curve, like a 1-2-3 kind of deck. And so for some people, whether it's just hit Legend, just hit Diamond 5, or high rank Legend, some people feel like that they have to do it with like a big brain deck. And that's just not the case. I mean, you can do that. That's perfectly fine. But you don't have to. There's no reason why you can't pick up just a quick aggro deck, quick games, and be able to rank up with it. And this is exactly where that deck falls in the meta right now. When it comes to playing big brain decks, yes, they're fun sometimes, but sometimes, after a long day, you get home from work, you get home from running errands or whatever it is that you've done, and you just don't feel like doing a lot of thinking. And so there's nothing wrong with playing decks that don't require a whole lot of thinking. I mean, the way I look at it is you're out-thinking your opponent before you ever even queue into them if you're playing a deck like this and hitting, say, Quest Rogue, like we did right here. Quest Rogue, you're never going to lose to Quest Rogue with this deck. Your draw would have to be astronomically awful, because they're not going to be looking to kill you probably until at least turn 7, turn 8, because they're going to have to complete the quest, and then they're going to have to most likely drop the scab, stealth it, and then probably Battle Master the following turn. Outside of that, I mean, and you've even got Cloak of Shadows as a backup, they're just never really going to be able to kill you. So, unfortunately for our opponent here, we just queued in with a really great matchup. We beat him basically before this game even started. It's like no way we lose this game. No way that we lose this game. And write that down. We're going to see how it goes. But, yeah, the deck is just so good right now, and when you play a deck like this, you can spend your brain power on other stuff. Instead of playing Garrote Rogue and trying to calculate the math and figure out how many cards you can draw off of contact and things like that, I can be thinking about important stuff. Like, what am I going to have for lunch? Or where am I going to eat dinner tomorrow? Things like that. So, super great deck, man. Really, really enjoying it. Definitely a top tier deck right now. Highly suggest you give it a try. The list is fun. Punching people in the face is always fun. Just a good time, and an easy way to get ranks.
I guess.